Good morning, traders. It is 7:24 in the morning on Monday, April 9th, 2018. Gosh, it's already April. Man, April 9th. Gee whiz. And all we had was snow. Man, last week we had some nice 50-degree weather up here in South Dakota, and then over the weekend, and it was just a bunch of snow. Blizzard yesterday. Blech. But I think today it's supposed to be nice again. So that's good. All right, taking a peek at our markets and news. We've got some Syria issues, a lot of saber rattling between Israel, Syria, Russia, and the United States. So nothing new there. uh, Alleged use of chemical weapons in Syria not having too much of an effect on the market. In fact, the futures markets are indicating that we're probably going to have a little bump up this morning on fears that the trade stuff isn't going to be as bad as they thought. Additionally, I was just checking my phone last night, and the soybeans that were not being sold to China anymore were really, really bought up very quickly by European markets. They scooped up a huge amount of soybeans, and like the largest single order in 15 years apparently. So that's some good news too. I mean, so clearly, when one market is shut off, then another will pick it up. The thing is that the soybean issue is really, really, really a big deal. For folks who don't pay attention to agriculture a lot, there are billions and billions of hogs in China that, soy is used to feed those hogs. And China cannot produce, it just can't produce its soybeans. It can't. It has to import egg to feed its hogs, and yeah, it's a big issue. It's gonna really hurt them quite a bit in the short term and the long term. So we'll see. But as far as our ability to export to them, all we really had was a lot of EU participation in our soybean market. So that's good. In the U.S., that is. Ours, meaning the U.S. Okay, taking a peek at our markets here. Let's, last Friday we had big, release on employment data, all that jazz on Fridays. We don't like to trade those a lot. We originally had a short on the New Zealand dollar at 72.55, a short on the pound at 140 at 1402, and then a long on the dollar yen at 1737. None of those trades really worked out. We just really had kind of a one trend counter trend day. And I'm looking at the pound right here. That's exactly what happened on Friday. We just had from 7 in the morning, all the way till about 10 o'clock. We just had a straight jump up in price, and then we wedge traded all the way into the close on Friday, and then into the open last night. I mean, look at this. And then overnight, we had bullish participation in this in the pound dollar. We are from this swing to this swing in the pound dollar. We are approaching a swing high here. Or sorry, we're approaching the 618 retracement, which is right on a pivot in time. So we should look to see this reverse. We are very, very divergent on the composite index, and in fact, gonna get here with Pound is looking like a really good short. Actually put in a trade idea before I came on here. Short the pound at 141.21. Where am I at? Right, if we look at this perspective, we are divergent as well. Very, very divergent, actually. Yeah, make sure that's set up right. Huge extension in that divergence, so we should expect a good thrust and move down. This is actually, while we're waiting for those things to happen, this is the financial astrology component of this software. These squiggly lines all represent the longitudinal lines of a planet, and they are put on a price chart. So this blue one here, this is Venus. This green one here, that is Mercury. This green one going across here, we should probably change that color to like that. Oh God, no. Oof. Blue. But there we go. This is Neptune. Below that is Pluto. And then this one is Saturn. So you can kind of see that these provide areas of natural support and resistance. We can see that really good in where am I at? Are we right up against that? Oh yes, we are. Forgive me as I try to find it. Well, maybe it's not. I was doing a study on this Friday during a little down move in the market there. The Aussie dollar, like a lot of currencies and things in general, oops, I wanted did I go 4 or did I go 5 or 6? No, I think I went 5. Or maybe, man, I cannot remember. I think I went 3, probably. Anyways, if we look at, so this is Jupiter, and we can see that Jupiter forms some pretty natural areas of support and resistance. And if we put the composite index down on here, we can see that there is a strong relationship between when price comes down to these planetary angles and we are, comes up to these lines or down to these lines, we see a lot of, supportive or resistive price action. Okay? Gets even more important when we notice that there is divergence. in our charts. This is a weekly chart of the Aussie dollar, US dollar. That is a it almost looks like Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. It really does. Oy. Anyways, that's just like one way I like to look and review the markets. Okay, let's take a peek at the gold trade here. Rather, the euro dollar. So the euro dollar pair, it is really experiencing a big drive up this morning. If we look at the chart here, there we go. We are approaching a short territory. We're getting kind of extended. We're coming up against this angle here. And, you know, even though we've got an inverse head and shoulders forming, we're going to pretty much end that up here. So we can look to short probably if it extends a little bit above at 123.19. Okay, that's if we extend up beyond there. This angle should act as a resistance zone, and we should expect that to play out. The dollar yen showing a little bit of weakness here. Objects tree. Where are you? I do not have a wheel. Okay. So the dollar yen, this is not a very good sign because we broke below this arc, and we have an upwards trend here, but you know, this is forming what's pretty much called a bear flag. And so, you know, where's our next support zone going to be? Probably down here at 106.57, 106.60. That's where we're looking to go long again. If we pull back down to that zone, we've had a beautiful, beautiful move up. I am really looking for this to continue to go up and not really show any change in that direction because we have been in such a strong bear trend that we should see this base out and continue to move up. All right. New Zealand dollar, New Zealand dollar. We are probably going to test, well, this is an interesting zone. You know, we probably are going to ignore this 2x1 Gann line, and price will probably want to test the 73.06 or 73.12 zone before we actually fall down again. In the composite index, it's showing some supportive buying pressure right there. So, you know, we can really see that. If we want to look at this at a longer time frame, let's go look at it at the 4 hour. And what do we have going on here? Well, we have a kind of a top up here, and it looks to be that we're forming a pivot here. You know, this closes in 20 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with our price action right at this zone. Okay. So really no trade here unless we get up to probably short at 73.07. Okay. We'll get to our clouds here in a moment. The euro pound finding a little bounce off this. You know, if you notice, this angle's been acting as a as a support zone on our way down here. This is a 45-degree angle, so it's been following that on the way down. Really finding a lot of buying pressure on it. You know, structurally on the euro pound, we should be looking for a buy based on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, so probably a good buy entry around here. That's a good one. Looking forward even more, let's take a peek at the pound dollar again. Now we are approaching this resistance band up here. Well, actually, this is a former trend line that we had drawn. I think we had it drawn on the daily, maybe. This is kind of that expansive parabolic move we had going on. Yeah, this is drawn on the daily. So we're coming up against that line right there. And we're coming up against it in this angle and get up against this arc. So this is a good shorting zone. Actually, I'll probably add to those shorts at 140.14. Pretty expanded above here, and that is, again, if we're looking at it over here, that is the we're touching that 618 retracement. So pretty extended, crazy divergent. Oversold on the RSI, extremely divergent in the composite index. So looking to see a large number of pips fall off of this here. US dollar, Canadian dollar. When we were taking a peek at this last week, we were trying to get long, around here. That did not work out. Tried to get long back around here. Did not work out. We've pretty much been facing some basing and wanted to go long as we got down here. We are making some higher lows currently, and we have made a higher high. So, it remains to be seen if this is going to be a good reversal zone or not. We'll just kind of have to watch out for that. Okay, let's take a look at everything else based off of the cloud here. Let's go back to the euro. So on the euro, on the cloud, we actually have a very we have all of our conditions met for a long condition, except we are extremely extended. Remember what I say about the conversion or the baseline? That's the red line in the Ichimoku system. When the baseline is, when price is very, very far away from the baseline, that is that's not a good sign. That is an overbought condition. Okay, because we are essentially 50 pips away from the baseline, so we are going to experience a good pullback, probably down to at least the conversion line. This is way too extended. It's not healthy. This is just a kind of a really yucky condition to be going along, and we should expect a snapback. Okay, dollar yen, we're neutral. We are on the Ichimoku system. We're neutral. We're not looking at taking any trades based on the Ichimoku system. We've just entered in a consolidation zone, which is what this is telling us. Again, when we are inside the cloud, the trade is no trade. All right. We have conditions forming for a short trade, but for the time being, that is not. We don't have enough of a signal to take a short yet. We are still in a consolidative zone. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, similar situation. We have some conditions set up for long positions, but we don't have those conditions met yet. Why? Because the cloud in front, everything is signaling long conditions, except for the lagging span has not broken up out of the cloud yet. Okay. The euro pound on this chart on Ichimoku, not entertaining any longs here either. Pound dollar. Taking a look here, we are crazy extended. Again, this is like the Eurodollar. We are, let's see, this is 67. We are like 70 pips extended away from the baseline. And so that is a real quick short-term scalp or trend reversal condition that we're in. It is really, really overdone. Where are we at here? Where do you have that drawn? I forget. Right here. Yep. Again, we're right up against this zone. If we want to draw that fib retracement here quick. Just a whole lot of resistance up here. Just a ton. Trendline resistance, Fibonacci resistance, Gann angle resistance, resistance in the arc. Just a lot of pain for price to experience. Now, if we're looking at these behaviors in here, okay? We have on this line here, and I think okay, yeah, that's right. Inside each major harmonic are 8 inner harmonics, and then in between each inner harmonic is 8 minor harmonics. Okay, so if we're taking a look at what's the zone above us here, right here, I don't know if we have that up here. Yeah, we do. So, you know, in between 142.18 and 140.62, we are pretty much up against the inner mid of this zone as well, and that is naturally an extremely resistive area. In fact, we could probably why don't we plot those out here, because because where is my so let's see, 42.18, and then between that and 40.62, I just want the 3 major turning harmonics here. So this one we're going to turn red, and minor pivot, that is at 41.79. Oops, sorry. And then our pivot below that is 1.4101. coordinates for that one are 1.4140. Pretty much where we are sitting at. Okay, so these inner harmonics are going to be, especially this 4140, that is a strong resistance zone. It should be the hardest for price to want to travel up and out of. And we are kind of sitting right on that in very extended conditions. If we look at it on the 4 hour, we are extremely extended on the 4 hour in the composite index. We are extremely up there. Take a peek at the 8 hour, we are very extended. You want to take a look at the 12 hour, similar situation. On the daily, looking slightly bullish, but because we've been kind of a down move when we hit the 50 zone, this more than likely turns into a resistance level on the composite index. Okay. So again, this is probably our best trade. We've had really great trades on shorting these rallies in the pound dollar over the past week and a half or so. Okay. The New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's take a peek over here. Okay, so that short is playing out nicely so far. Dollar yen. I put in that long at 106. Sorry, what did I say? Pull back down there. We also have another one if we can break back up across this and above here. So 107.11 probably. All right. The Eurodollar. Ooh, might be checking out a nice short here. Let's take a look at where our levels are over here. Okay, I need to get the, let's see, what are we at? 25.77 and then 16.89. Missing two lines here, which I need. This one is going to be the inner 6/8 pivot, but we have ranges in between here because we have been bouncing around in here for a bit, so we're probably going to experience range trading, which is going to be kind of fun actually. So I want to get just those three minors in here. Because we're trading between the 23.55 and the 22.77. Wait, 22.27 right there. So that first pivot's going to be 23.23. And then this one will be 22.59. And the mid here. Sorry, it's minor. $22.91. So we are approaching this pivot in the extended conditions on the hourly. So yeah, we are looking at the short there to happen here. Certainly. Gold. Actually, when I was looking at gold this morning, didn't really want to touch it yet. Just kind of hands off on it for right now. Gonna see what happens at the U.S. Open. Not golf. Double checking some of these as we're going around here. These fib levels are drawn off of this swing, and so we are right on that 382. We're right up against this arc, and we are right up against that fib level. That coincides with the rest of our harmonics that we've got drawn. So this is a resistive zone. Okay. So we're pretty extended on a lot of these dollar pairs that are trading against the dollar. Pretty extended. Really should expect a thrust down on these pairs for the day. Now the next level, especially because I'm focusing mostly on the pound dollar because that's been our moneymaker. Now, if we do not hold this zone, if we break through this resistance, then our next short is definitely going to be probably around 786 or maybe the 886 retracement. Just kind of keep an eye on that, but we are fairly deep into heavily extended, bordering on silly extended conditions here on the pound dollar. All right. Okay. Mondays are sometimes just kind of a dull day. Turnaround Tuesdays are generally where we'll see most of the good activity happening. But yeah, otherwise, these are just kind of further extensions from the trade that was on Friday. And so, as we get closer to probably 10 Central, 11 Central, we can see a lot of these strong trending moves to retrace a significant portion throughout the rest of the day and going into tomorrow. So keep your eyes out for that. And yeah. Hope you guys have a good Monday. Sorry, it's a short day today. Just not a lot of, activity going on. Just a lot of pretty much straight extended moves here that are just turning into pretty good short opportunities. And yeah, we will visit tomorrow morning. Have a good one. Bye-bye.